Hello, and welcome back to the Fatal Metal Tournament. The day has come, the time is near for the losers bracket grand finals matchup between the two absolute units of a players. Filipino prodigy Icarussy, flying high, reaching for the sun, he still has not dropped any matches in this tournament. The only reason he's in the losers bracket is due to the unfortunate round of 16 scheduling issues, because of which he had to forfeit, but he has not shown any weaknesses since. No matter the odds, no matter the opponent, he was standing tall and ready to show what he is worth. He gifted us with incredible upset against Flames tier. He breezed through one of the closest matches of this tournament against Bananachi and Rikuima in the losers finals, and now he will be facing off against the American Eagle, the backbone of USA OWC roster, an irreplaceable asset for any and all tournaments that he signs up for, a people's favorite Pezz. After stellar performance throughout all this tournament, he was finally knocked down in the winners finals, and he is looking for revenge, looking for blood to satiate his thirst and get ready for eventual rematch against the man, the myth, the legend, the box, residing in the King's Quarters, waiting to see who will be his eventual challenger. As for who will be covering this match today, it will be, of course, me, Eitel Milan, joined today by the absolute goat of this tournament's broadcast, Torva Zero.
Hello. Yeah, I'm really excited for this match. I mean, your intro put it the best, right? You've got two genuinely phenomenal players. One who is only here due to an unlucky schedule issue with the forfeit, and another who got sent here literally the last round due to the player who is waiting for the winner of this match. This one is going to be genuinely insane with the performances from both these players that we've seen so far, and this map pool, I think, will let them both shine unbelievably so. You know, you've got some crazy skill cap maps in here, some crazy consistency sections. This map pool as a whole is just gnarly, and then, you know, seeing that tiebreaker waiting, the premonition, the ominous map itself that you can kind of hear in that background, just giving you a slight teaser to what could be laying in its wait. You have that tiebreaker, and I'm very interested how this goes. I'm not entirely sure how it could go, because again, with how both these players have been playing, this could genuinely become the closest match of the tournament. But we are seeing the bans come in, I believe, with the DT2 being insta-banned, and I think the DT3 as well. Also that hidden one, and the hard rock one. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, after some insane performances from Icarussy in the previous rounds, Pezz is rightfully so a little bit afraid of pure aim, I guess, HD ability of Icarussy, because he was most consistent on this type of maps. And of course, you already know the best. You gotta ban speed if you cannot do speed. It's just, he's genuinely unbeatable on this type of maps if you are not one of the greatest in the world. So all four of the bans make sense, but the pick now will be very important, as Icarussy will be the one to get the first pick on board of this match, and I am expecting some unexpected things.
Yeah. I mean, when it gets to play like Pezz, right, you want to ban out those speed maps, as you mentioned, getting rid of the DT2 and 3, getting rid of 260 BPM and some DT3, the 330 BPM speed maps. But, you know, that no mod 5 being on the table, that 300 BPM stream map is a bit spooky, but Icarussy opens up the match with, honestly, my favorite map in this entire pool. Sarochinskaya Yaromaka, mapped by Mazarin. This map is just brutal. It is 220 BPM. It is tech map. It is a mechanical map. You got 220 BPM streams in there, awkward sliders, mixing the hidden on top of that, and you've got a pretty crazy map coming up as your opening pick.
Yeah, that is really going to be crazy, especially as you said before, the opening pick from Icarussy, when you still have maps like Nomad 6 and HD2 in the pool. but he's just feeling confident, feeling like this might be the good idea to get the difference, to get the momentum to his side early on, and we hope it will be after all as he's hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, Icarussy has been pretty confident on these hiddens so far, and getting straight into this hidden 3 is definitely a pretty good pick for him. And, I mean, you see from the get-go, right? The challenge this map brings, a lot of 220, some excel, decel, going straight into these tech patterns with the vocals going a bit, you know, a bit hard in the background, just to add on a bit of that flavor to the map. And, you know, accuracy advantage actually going to the side of Pezz this time around. We did see a bit of better accuracy from Icarussy, but Pezz is going to be the first one to find that break. An unfortunate miss, as Icarussy now has the chance to start building combo to try and run away with some score. But they both trade each other out as the first Ki starts. And this part can be super awkward with the combo. The sliders to break everything if need be. And you see that happening with Pezz, but it's still 3k score advantage based off that accuracy.
Yes, accuracy is pretty much the deciding factor, at least for now, as we are finishing the first quarter of this map and heading, of course, into the second, I guess, smoky eye, because there is no stopping of this map, there is absolutely no cold pressures, as Icarussy is going to be finding another miss, dropping a little bit more of accuracy, and the score lead will be going towards the Pezz quite quickly, as we are already at almost 30,000 score difference between the two, and the first third of the map is done now.
Yeah, I mean, you do get a bit more of these tech patterns to kick right back in as that Ki starts. The stream sections to mix between them causes so many issues for these players, and you can understand why, but that's still 30k score lead in favor of Pezz, but these misses are going to keep making that score lead come closer. Icarussy is just so clean when it comes to these slider sections without problems, but does find a break right before one of the slower sections, right before one of the deeper parts of the song. And it's just unfortunate as they match their combos identically. The accuracy is still going to be in favor of Pezz, the comfort being shown when it comes to that tapping side of things, but it's going to be holding onto every one of those sliders. It's going to be important as these bursts now start to come sprinkling in, and that score difference is only going to be sitting about that 12k. The next miss could start to move it majorly, and there's the misses coming in from Icarussy, but it is going to be traded immediately out, back down to 17k difference between them, and these streams are not going to be claiming any major differences between these two players.
And as we are getting through this big slider, eventually getting just a little bit of that much needed rest for both of the players, especially after the double breaks, and getting into the last quarter of this map, the question still remains, who will be the one to win this point, as Icarussy finds a break on this relatively small section, slow section of this map, and we are getting through as Pezz is still holding 300 combo in, 94.8% accuracy. No mind that he does find the break, and now the score lead is going towards Icarussy little by little. The 30,000 score difference that Pezz was able to build in the first two-thirds of the map is still quite substantial, as the combo in the last quarter is not a lot, but Icarussy needs to hold on if he wants at least some kind of a possible solution, at least one way to get the first point on board towards his side, as we are getting through into the last TI, and Icarussy finds the double break. It's a chain miss. There is no... The score difference is towards Icarussy, and we do not know what is going to happen, especially if there is going to be a but there is some more. Icarussy drops a miss from Pezz, and Icarussy is the one to take the score lead advantage. It is the last quarter of the map, and it is finally the first, after all, point on board from Icarussy, who is showing that HD3 and all possible maps in this match are still in his favor. He can do that, and he's proving it right now.
Yeah, that map is so brutal. That ending is arguably one of the hardest, if not the hardest part of the map. And it claimed Pezz so unfortunately, dropping the majority of his misses in that ending. But it's just so unfortunate for Pezz. It was looking so in his favor. It was so close. And then you see that scoreline really start to drain down and move in favor of Icarussy as the combo towards the ending just started building. The accuracy just keeping its placement there. But Pezz is immediately going to be answering back, going in to this No Mod 2. Going into Asteroid Cannon. This map is brutal. It's about 204, 205 BPM when it comes to that tapping ability. It is a custom map by Jaxi and Benezume. and the art for the background is done by the amazing Blue Star Lotus. This map is brutal, this map is fire, and it is going to be testing your 200 consistency and your flow aim for that entire 3-minute 36 this map goes on for.
It's an insane start to the match immediately with such a close performance for both of the players. Actually, I believe both are getting somewhere towards the 270k score on HD3, and it is kind of crazy as we are going to be getting into the mode 2. It seems like there is a lot of stuff to prove from Pezz, as it will be his first pick, and it seems like it will be a nice one, as Icarussy will be the one to find the first misses, to find accuracy drops, as he is now going down towards 93, recovering little by little, but the Pezz is able to trade the combo difference between the two, as he found the side break in the first in the center of the map, and but the accuracy drops from Icarussy are not giving him any issues, are not giving him any favors, as Pezz is still going to be holding the early advantage, and seems like he's just much more comfortable on this type of map compared to Icarussy.
Yeah, I mean, Pezz, when it comes to this flow aim, he wasn't able to showcase it properly in his last match due to being against a Secret Box who just shines on this kind of thing. But, you know, when you're against someone who isn't Secret Box, you can really start to show off your flow aim capabilities, and Pezz is doing just that. Finding few misses to be sprinkled in here and there, but the accuracy just being super comfortable. 95% accuracy, whereas Icarussy is going to be struggling down to that 81%, climbing to 82%. But they do have time to try and recover it, but they need the combo, they need the accuracy if they want that score then to start shifting any direction. And Pezz isn't going to make that a free case for them. They're not going to make it easy, especially with the comfort Pezz is showing on this map right now, especially with these awkward streams. But the map does bring a challenge, it does bring some harder spikes into it, and this map only really just builds into it soon.
Yeah, on this map, Pezz's ability is just shine through, as he's still holding almost 96% accuracy. He does find a little bit accuracy drop before I said so, but it's still pretty much impressive, especially compared to the Icarussy, who is still at 84% accuracy. What is going on? But it just stinks to the ability of Pezz on this type of map, as the score lead is only going towards the 130k between the two, as we are getting towards the halfway of the map. Pezz finds some more misses, but it will not be any difference, because Icarussy did not find some combo of his own, and with accuracy disadvantage it is not looking great. Of course it is the Pezz's pick, so it is a little bit expected that he will be taking one. It will be strange if he was not, but Icarussy does find some more combo chain miss, the same as Pezz just now, but it is still pretty much equal, and the score difference between the two will be stagnant, at least for now.
Yeah, I mean, that section is just brutal, right? Pure awkward spaced streams on 205 BPM. You're gonna find those problems, and they both did, but Icarussy, I think, suffered a decent bit more. Still sitting quite far behind the accuracy margin by almost 8%, 124k score difference between these two players. I mean, we're at the caliber now, right, where getting those high, like 400ks on that's become a challenge and a half, and you can see it even with the scores they're putting out. They're still sitting below that 300k range, but Pezz is really starting to build that combo now, starting to build that consistency, but unfortunately does get claimed by these longer streams, and the flow aim on them is so difficult. I cannot stress that enough. It is so easy to find those breaks on these kind of things, and it are just being found left and right for Icarussy, not being able to find the footing comfortably on this map, and it's understandable, right? You put Pezz on something like this, he's gonna shine pretty bright, and you put, you know, a player who is very consistent on tapping, pretty consistent on mechanics as a whole, and he is just gonna run away with that score, and this pulling a 300k on this map is impressive in its own right. It is such a challenge, and it's a solid pick for Pezz getting that first point on the board for themselves.
Yeah, it is not just a pick, it is a statement that it is not going to be too easy to get any momentum in this match, as both players are pretty much able to get some incredible picks towards their side, as we do see that there is some, of course, some budget problem troubles from Icarussy. maybe double it actually, but it does not really matter. 300k score from the Pezz with 94% accuracy, and just to compare, 150k from Icarussy and 87.7% accuracy. It is just shows what is going on. And now the question is, what will be the next pick from Icarussy, as we do still have HD2, we do still have Nomad 6 on board, but the Pezz is one of the people that you are not really shouldn't be completely sure to pick those maps in for. But I mean, there is not a lot of different maps that Icarussy can really get a great standing on, at least considerably, and I'm not sure what will be the map picked right now.
Yeah, this is now an interesting case for Icarussy, right? Because that hidden 3 is gone, but it was already too close as it was, right? It was a concerning pick, but did manage to clutch out in the hardest part of the map at the ending. But the confidence is there on those kind of maps, and with that being, you know, a possible option having been picked already, I think I could see Icarussy picking into one of the more unique mod combinations. I don't see the DT pick coming out, not against a player like Pezz. Maybe the DT1 is a solid option, but I was going to say I see either the hard rocks coming out or possibly that hidden 2. And we are going to be going into another custom, I believe, an AR8 version of Usupi Miku Sabbath. It is 190 BPM, AR8, and this map is brutal its whole way through. It's kind of on the star rating compared to the rest of the pool, but it kind of has to be with its low approach rate. It's sitting at a 7-star range with Hidden, and this map does cause some issues, especially with that tapping or what's called the reading requirements.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it will be a brutal map for both the players, but considering the Pezz, at least what he was able to do in the previous matches of the tournament, you gotta just pick what you are feeling comfortable on. For example, in the Venus Finals, where he was finally knocked down from the Venus bracket, he still had the #1 performance throughout all this round, and it is just crazy that he was still the one to drop down. And now, as we are going to be heading towards the HD2, finally, the question would be if Icarussy is feeling good enough to get over Pezz, as we are seeing both of the players just getting a first 100 on the first slider, which is quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the intro of this map, pretty chill, but you're seeing a bit of that accuracy, lack of comfort coming in from both sides right now, but time will change. Oh, unfortunate small bit of a chain miss there coming in from Pezz, but the map does kick off. And you can see that low AR does cause some issues for both these players. You know, it does make a bit of a challenge, especially with some of the aim plus the stack bursts coming in. A pretty chill map on the whole when it comes to, you know, those major crazy sections, but the map does bring that challenge to it either way. And you can see that coming in from Pezz, right? A few of those misses, and those sliders are definitely pretty brutal on the Hidden, claiming both players, and Pezz is going to take an advantage now because the accuracy and the smooth of that combo lead, but does drop the combo lead. And it's just going to be on Icarussy now to try and hold that combo to bring that score lead back for as long as possible, because the first score of the map is already done. It's gone.
Yeah, and as we are getting through this, of course, as Drew mentioned before the first quarter, the lead is slightly going towards Icarussy, even after unfortunate accuracy drop and, well, combo drop, of course, on those slider buttons. He still has the accuracy advantage, at least for now. He's 89 compared to 87 from Pezz. He finds some more chain misses on this jump patterns, very mean jump patterns, and even more so in the later part. It seems like HD is not really feeling great today for him, as Icarussy is still holding on, almost 400 combo now, as we are getting through those mean aim patterns, and he does not seem to want to misread anything. Still holding, accuracy is improving, and the combo as well, as we do see some more just unfortunate breakdowns, unfortunate breaks from Pezz coming in, even on those relatively easy patterns that we saw right now.
Pezz is just like me on Hidden 2 for real. Like, generally, it's so difficult to play these maps, right? The low AR mixed in with some of the awkward patterns and some of these sections with the double note on top of it, it just causes those problems. Icarussy does finally break their bigger combo, I believe crossing that 500 combo mark, which is going to give them a pretty comfortable position to be in with 99k score advantage. Even if they start to show some weaknesses, some issues, which they have definitely done, they do get to chill in. But here's one of the diff spikes kicking in. A lot of those triples and a lot of the streams really going crazy. And Pezz just stuck in note lock hell the whole time. The hidden on top of all of this is just so brutal. And you can see even with Icarussy, who has been pretty comfortable on this map for the whole, did find quite a few of those misses. And even the more spread out aim, this whole section, it was just unbelievably brutal. But from what I remember, this next quarter isn't too crazy, but you still do have a lot of those problems, a lot of those wider jumps, and some of these sections where you do have to stop mid-jump to collect that double, but you do still run into a few of those problems if need be.
Yeah, and as we are getting towards the end of the map, which you can just see that it is a map made for destruction, as we see that both of the players are, at least for now, not getting over 200k score point, and just look at the accuracies, only 87% accuracy from Icarussy and whopping 77 from Pezz, as he's just not feeling great at this type of week, and it seems like it will be, after all, still a very great momentum getting towards the Icarussy side, and another point going towards his back.
Yeah, a very solid pick from Icarussy, picking into one of Pezz's weaker skill sets, especially when it comes to this map. I mean, Pezz isn't a bad hidden player by all means. We saw on the hidden 3 definitely has the capabilities, but hidden 2 is just a different beast, and Icarussy just came in a bit more comfortable. Saying the offset was a bit wrong, which is maybe the cause of the 88% accuracy, but the combo was there, and it's all they really needed.
Yeah, and Icarussy is just saying something along the way that I would have won. Well, you still did. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, I have a slight feeling Icarussy may have won the map by a decent margin. Just, a small bit comfortable on the hidden 2, if you ask me. Just a tad bit, even with offset being a bit off. But Pezz immediately opting into that DT1. Last weekend, we saw Pezz on this kind of skill set, right? On the last weekend's DT1. Sure, it was a bit easier than this one is, a bit less of a consistency drain, but still did bring in the first full combo, the first full DT combo, sorry, on, Two-Faced by Linkin Park, and now this time opting in to play a new King is Born. And I think this map's pretty fitting for these kind of players, right? Because they're in a very late stage, and we may see another crazy DT score coming in from Pezz, but this map is a bit longer, 2 minutes 12, 285 BPM, and those jumps are just as brutal, if not more so.
Yeah, but this time around it is a little bit different. The focus shifts a little bit from the big wide jumps towards the small ones, but a higher BPM. And of course it will be not easy for both of the players, but you might just see some more misses, as Pezz might not be feeling as good as we would have expected today. But for now, what is going on? Both of the players are getting through the intro pretty nice, easily. There is no accuracy drops, at least relevant much. There is no combo drops too, as we are getting... No, man, Icarussy will be the first one to find the drop in this map, as Pezz is still holding the one to get the FC on the last round in DT1, which had no FCs, I believe, in the leaderboard, but Icarussy is not feeling as great as Pezz, at least for now, finding another break, and as we are getting towards the finish the first shot of the map, Pezz will finally find a break, but it will still be pretty much nicely, as we do have that the score difference between the two is now sitting stably at around 47k between the two, and I don't know what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, Pezz is just always comfortable on this kind of thing, right? He's just going to be pretty consistent on it. Unfortunately, not bringing the first full DT FC home, but still bringing in a definitely a punch of a score over. Picking into the DT1, it's just a solid pick for Pezz at all times, right? Just genuinely insanity, and does find another miss, which now does put him in a bit of a danger zone, right? Icarussy is quite a bit behind on the accuracy, about a full percentage, but Icarussy coming into this last quarter has got 500 combo under their belt and just able to start closing that score gap, closing from 50k to 18k so quickly. They've seen the difference. Pezz has seen that combo. Icarussy has seen the chance to gain a lead, and they need to hold that combo, but Pezz finding a miss is actually going to make it a lot easier for Icarussy now, especially as they cross that 650 combo. Does find a break, and finds another, but that score lead is only going to shimmer, and it does keep flickering between them, but they trade misses on this ending. This ending is a challenge and a half, and you can see it coming in with all of those misses, and they're just going to keep trading and trading and trading, but the score difference is sitting 7k in Pezz's favor on this DT1 right now. It came close towards the ending. Icarussy started to build that zone back to themselves. They started to bring that score lead back, but it just came to those ending misses, and Pezz was able to make less mistakes, just barely keeping it in their favor by 15,799 score.
Oh my god, that was so much closer than expected. Just look at Icarussy, 660 combo almost, and 95% accuracy against Pezz with 97.6%, but the combo is just a little bit too low for comfort, as we were seeing such insane performance towards the end. I believe the score difference was actually going towards the Icarussy at some point in the last quarter of the map, but oh my god, just so unfortunate. Chain misses just pretty much wrote who will be the one to take the second point, and it will be Pezz. And now we are just seeing no shakes, no nerves at all. Icarussy is going to be picking no mod 1 after whopping DT1.
Yeah, Icarussy immediately opting into the no mod 1 encounter, going down the aim route once again. And I mean, it's understandable, right? You almost clutch it out. You see you had the more combo when it came to that map, knowing you can opt into something pretty comfortable going into this map, right? Sitting at that 8-star range once again. Just a general challenge, and I believe we are going to get another custom map by Matteo, iDrago, and New Year. Phenomenal map, 3 minutes long, 215 BPM, and a challenge the whole way through, if I'm not mistaken. This map does contain a lot of that raw aim requirements, quite a few of those bursts, and a lot of really awkward sliders to be sprinkled about. Gonna be interested to see how this plays out, because, I mean, we saw the DT1 score, right? We know Pezz is very, very comfortable on these kind of things, but Icarussy is also showcasing a definite capability of performing on this kind of skill set.
I mean, yeah, of course, but after DT1 it would seem that aim might be just a little bit more towards the best side today, but Icarussy is not feeling like that is decided yet, as we are getting into the intro. Of course, immediately through those big wide jumps across the whole screen, and so far both of the players are feeling quite comfortable actually, both holding double S now, and that Icarussy does find the first, will be the first to find some hundreds on the way, but it will not be for long, as Pezz was dropped some hundreds of his own, and now as we are getting towards the end of the first quarter, the both of the players are still holding pretty well. No accuracy drops, no big accuracy drops. The combo is still here, and it seems like there is somehow both of the players are feeling comfortable on this type of map. What is going on?
Yeah, this map is such a challenge for the players, right? First quarter already over, both holding on to those full combos. And the distancing between these jumps definitely can cause some issues, but these players are just holding on for their lives' content. They kind of have to, right? They can't sit there and find the break, because if they do, the other player is going to start flying ahead on that lead. But Pezz right now is going to be taking a decent lead of 15k, but all it takes is one miss for everything to fall apart. But Icarussy is the one to go down just for the halfway point, but Pezz does trade it. The accuracy advantage now for Pezz is going to be helping quite a decent bit more, as our score lead is only going to be closing very, very slowly if Icarussy does start to hold on to those larger combos as we close into the halfway point of the match.
Yeah, and as we finally get into the second half, the Icarussy does find another break, giving the score, the combo difference towards the Pezz, the score advantage towards the Pezz, and now it's everything is up for grabs, especially as Pezz we will be just getting some more and more score advantage going through this whole section, especially if you will not be able to find some more misses as we are getting through it little by little and getting towards the last third of the map. The Icarussy, of course, he will be able to recover quite well too on this whole patterns, but it is not going to be enough if he now just needs, he screams that Pezz needs to find a miss, but it is, of course, it's not going to be an easy thing to find in those rules. And it seems like as we are going to be getting into the second TI shortly, Icarussy will be the first one to find the break after all.
Yeah, this section definitely brings in those issues with, issues and problems with that aim control, right? You saw it in a moment before with the 1/3 catching Icarussy out, but Pezz, on the other hand, no issues whatsoever until the slider catches him out. But he's bought himself a pretty comfortable netting of 106k score difference. Even if Icarussy starts to build those combos now, it is this last bit of the ending that's going to try to make it flip, but it's not going to be happening anytime soon. No combos to be found from either player. The ending is a challenge and a half, and the accuracy from Pezz is just going to make it a pretty much impossible task. And I believe that is going to be our first breakpoint of the match to be shown. Just a phenomenal performance to be shown. Oh, they almost both hit the ending corner jumps. That was so close.
But oh my god, what a performance! 447k from Pezz, what is going on? I mean, that is not something that you are expecting to see in the grand finals of a badge tournament. But of course also a great, catch play by Icarussy, 330k, but it is sadly just not enough. The biggest problem, biggest difference between the two was after all the accuracy, and it was not looking great. But yeah, it will be the first breakpoint. Pezz will be taking the lead for the first time in this match, and the question remains, what will he be taking? What will he be picking now as the momentum is again going towards his side?
Yeah, I'm interested in what Pezz wants to opt into here, because the No More 5 is on the table, right? The No More 5 is there, and Pezz will just shred on it. He's very, very good at those speed-orientated picks, very good at those mechanics, right? And that No More 5 is just staring at me. But he is going to be opting in to the Hard Rock 3 instead, opting in to the Woven Web, Animals as Leaders. This map, from what I recall, is quite a slider-heavy map and a good old rhythm check within our Hard Rock 3 category. Definitely a challenge and a half to be found, and something I'm not too surprised with Pezz picking, but I was honestly, I would have opted for the No Mod 5 being his pick here, but also a very, very solid pick for him to go into.
I guess he feels like it might just be a good opportunity to capitalize on the advantage that he has seemingly on aim skill set right now, but I would not be completely sure about that, because it is after all a big ask to outplay Icarussy on Hard Rock 3 type maps, and for now, I mean, I guess we would have to wait and see what will happen, but for now it seems like a little bit of a shaky one, even of course considering that Pezz is very much great on this type of skill set.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the ones where I feel like it definitely can go back and forth, right? Icarussy definitely has the capabilities to pull out a good score on this, but Pezz definitely has the confidence going into it, which it's a lot stronger of an advantage than people just realize or take for granted, right? Having that confidence to go into something and knowing it's, doable. It's something that's just going to make your way of playing so much easier, so much lighter for you. And that confidence is definitely going to be starting to shine for Pezz. An early break for Icarussy, but this map's 3 minutes 49. A miss this early in, you don't worry about it too much. You can just count it off as a tactical miss or a write-off miss. And it is going to be traded by Pezz pretty early in, but again, nothing major has been established yet. Those breaks just aren't going to mean anything whatsoever. And it's just going to be once that first quarter kicks in is when they really start to become a problem. And you can see, some of the slider problems coming in, some of those rhythm checks, everything that you can find to find those misses. And Icarussy is going to be the one to break now, especially past this intro, which is going to give Pezz a pretty decent comfort zone with that combo right now, with about 230 combo, about 150 a bit more combo ahead, now 260 combo ahead. And that score advantage is just going to keep slowly moving over to their favor.
Yeah, but as Pezz will be finding another break, we do have to remember that this map is really big. 3 minutes and 49 seconds long. It is going to be a big challenge, and what matters is not how you start the map, but how you finish. But Icarussy does not seem to be able to find a great footing on this map, as he does find some more breaks, giving again the combo advantage towards the Pezz side as we are getting into the second third of this map, and it is going to be brutal from this point onward.
Yeah, I mean, it's the misses coming in, the rhythm check being found, really having to lock in on the tapping and the aim, both of them finding the break on the jump scare flow section. but the triples really not causing any, you know, trip overs on these sections for these players. Both of them pretty comfortable, pretty confident, and only 40k score difference between them, which could really flip over at a moment's notice if either of them starts to hold those combos. But yeah, those flow-aim sections really just keep catching both players off guard, just keep causing major breaks for the both of them. And the accuracy isn't even majorly different, right? One's sitting at almost 90%, the other one's at 91%. Not too far behind the other. It's just going to come down to that combo game between these two for this last third of the map.
Yeah, but for the last third, Pezz does have quite a sizable difference between the score of the two, almost for 35,000 between the two, and it is going to be an uphill battle for Icarussy, especially if he will be continuing to find those drops that he found before. But for now, at least, he does have a combo advantage. I mean, this unfortunate, of course, accuracy disadvantage that he has going on. He does find another break, and now it seems like Pezz will be, after all, the one to take another point on board, getting now a very comfortable, a very big lead, not letting any breakpoints come through his hands. He will be taking the first point.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking pretty comfortable on this, right? Pezz is just sitting 50k advantage, almost 2% accuracy ahead, about 1.5% to be closer to it, and the combo to be found as well. And this ending, you know, you're going to find another place to find breaks, right? Maybe one more break from each player, but nothing that's going to shift the tides of that 70k score difference between them. And yeah, closing out this hard rock 3, they're just pretty chill, right? It's nothing to write home about, but they were definitely having chances to have a fighting game there. But Pezz is just looking so comfortable now, just feeling in the zone, the confidence just maybe not at a maximum, but is definitely there to be shown. Unfortunate ending miss for Icarussy, but it doesn't matter too much. The map was practically over anyway, to be said and done. And Pezz even managed to hit the ending flow section as well, not being caught off this time. And coming towards the ending, a 17 miss compared to a 10 miss. And that combo difference is just comfortable for Pezz, getting another point on the board, being +2 on that score difference, 4-2. And it is Icarussy's pick, a chance to them to, you know, bring this match closer than before. And it's something they're going to be hoping to try and bring to the board.
Yeah, there is only 2 more points left for Pezz to collect to advance towards that winners grand finals. But it is not looking great. Icarussy does still have, of course, I believe the mod 6 in his hand. It might be a map that he wants to capitalize on, but after that I'm not so sure, because he needs to find at least 3 more, but probably 4 more points, as we are going to be seeing the mod 4 on board.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick. This is an interesting pick, right? I wasn't too expecting the inevitable fate of the universe to be picked, but I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it's a pretty inevitable pick. I'm so upset I butchered that. It is what it is. This is our closest thing to a tech map you can kind of get in the metal genre. A lot of aim littered in with a bit of control and quite a few sliders. And this map definitely brings its challenge to the board. It's high in the star rating. It's got a lot to be mixed in. Really, really difficult flowing sections, especially in that later half. Like, past that 2-minute, 30-minute moment, you're just going to be struggling. But it is going to be just that consistency check, that control check, and that aim check this whole way through.
Yeah, now we are going to be heading into the actual map soon. It will be pretty much one of the most important maps that we will see in this match, as it might be pretty much break or make difference between the two, as it will be not only shifting the momentum towards one of the side, it will be getting some recovery if Icarussy will be able to get another point on board. But with the early miss, it does not seem like, at least for now, especially with some accuracy drops compared to Pezz, still holding 94% accuracy, and Icarussy is trying to recover, but for now it is still looking not as good as Pezz, especially with another miss on this flow aim pattern. It is not looking great.
Yeah, I mean, early breaks with Icarussy, yeah, as you mentioned, right, not looking great. Maybe not too comfortable or confident. Pezz does find the break after crossing through into combo. The doubles into sliders just catching him off with the combo game, but definitely more opportunities to start building, especially as these flowing sections start to kick in, you know, going back and forth a bit, mixing with the sliders, but neither of them find the breaks. Even the aim control section, ooh, both of them hitting it pretty comfortably. but that accuracy advantage for Pezz right now is looking pretty severe. Even with that break there, it's going to take a lot of work to move it back over. And even as Icarussy's building that combo, right, it's shifting a small bit, but that break there is going to stop it from moving completely, especially as they go through the small triangles. The doubles catching Pezz off guard again. Unfortunate misses being found, but still 22k score advantage.
He has the biggest problem right now for Icarussy is that his combo lead is not a big one, as we are still only a fourth third of the map in, and there is still a lot of map left. The score difference between the two is of course not massive, but 25,000 is still a lot of to catch up on, as Icarussy finds a slider break as we are getting into the slow section, and Pezz is just going mental, getting the combo, getting the accuracy still at almost 97% on his side, and Icarussy is just not looking great as he finds another miss.
Yeah, I mean, seems to be a bit of a struggle for Icarussy, right? Maybe losing the momentum a bit compared to the first 2 points out on the board, but Pezz does find a break to trade them out, which is actually be a better off moment for Pezz, right? Having that 50k advantage, that, you know, that comfort zone to be within as we cross the halfway point of the map. And this later half now is where I would argue a lot more of the challenge kicks in with the flow aim, especially as they get a bit more awkward, and especially as you get to the late stage of this map, this spaced flow aim kicks in. But right now, when it comes to these more control sections, Pezz runs away with that combo. Icarussy finding a miss coming towards the end of it just before the break. But the accuracy difference is looking monstrous. It is a monumental difference between them. Pezz at 97.4 compared to Icarussy's 93 now.
Yeah, and as we are getting towards the last quarter of the map, the advantage is still only increasing towards the better side, even with some, of course, tries from Icarussy to recover. The accuracy is going, of course, higher, 92, almost 93%, but Pezz is just non-matchable on this type of map. Still at 97% and holding now almost 600 combo on his side. It is just such an incredible performance that Icarussy is just not going to be able to match it, and it is going to be a third break point of this match, and I believe another one towards the Pezz, the second one for Pezz, as he will be on a match point.
Pezz. What? Hello? Yeah, okay, I was saying the second half of the map is probably the hardest part of the map. I don't think Pezz agrees. Okay, finally finding a break on the flowing section, passing the 900 combo mark. Yeah, sure, bro. Sure, like, as you do, I guess. Just find 900 combo in the later half, not worrying about the jumps, only finding a small break on the flowing section. Breaking on some of the sliders there. I mean, the damage is done, right? About 170-ish K difference between them. I mean, yeah, okay, bro. Pezz. Chill, bro. Chill. That combo on the second half, 909 combo, is unreasonable. That's just not fair. I mean, it's a performance and a half coming in from Pezz and another breakpoint to the board, which is going to put Icarussy in a really, really bad position, as it is now match point with Pezz, you know, having the next pick. And as I mentioned before, that no mod 5 is still on the table. I'm not too sure on Icarussy's speed capabilities, but I do know Pezz is pretty comfortable on it.
Yeah, for sure. I believe no mod 5 will be at around 300 BPM. So it is definitely not going to be a relaxed zone for both of the players, but Pezz is a little bit closer to achieving this type of speed, so that might be a good pick for him. But oh my god, we do see no mod 3? If I'm not mistaken?
Oh, okay. I like this pick anyway. Even if it's not the pick I expected, I'm happy with it, because we get here a bit of Undead Corporation. And this is a band that you'd hope to see in this kind of tournament, right? Iconic band in Osu terms, an insanely good band overall, and we get to go to the alt map, Tokoyo Ome Hikane no Kami, or Kami. I apologize for butchering it. This is just a difficult challenge the whole way through, right? It's 280 BPM. And that's not usually a problem with ult, right? That's a pretty comfortable zone for a lot of players. But it's the fact that this map switches from ult to bursts pretty quickly, and there's challenge to be found in a lot of those ult sections as well. This is one of those maps where building combo is going to genuinely cause you an insane amount of advantage if you're able to hold on to it, and especially that accuracy.
Yeah, now that I think about it, number 3 might be just a great pick for Pezz. He, first of all, is going to be taking advantage on unfortunate downside of Icarussy in this match, the following skill set that he didn't really show great stability on. And second of all, he is going to be hiding that Nomad 5 performance from Secret Box, who he might be facing in the Grand Finals. And I mean, that is not a bad idea from Pezz, but for now he needs to survive, he needs to use and win another map if he wants to save that Nomad 5 performance from Secret Box. And as we are getting into the second quarter of the map, it seems like both the players are feeling quite nicely. Icarussy will be the first one to find the break on pretty much air, but it is not going to be mattering much because Pezz did pretty much just match it with some more chain misses, and the score lead will be going towards the Icarussy, at least for now, as Pezz did drop just a little bit too much accuracy, and now it is up for grabs for anyway, especially with Icarussy still holding, getting this combo lead. And as we are getting into the second quarter, the third quarter of the map, it is not, it is very much undecisive who will be getting this pick after all.
Yeah, I mean, Icarussy's now starting to run away with a bit of combo. I'm sorry for speaking, bro. I'm sorry. Like, I opened my mouth and Icarussy misses. I apologize. Like, I can't... Okay, sure, man. Icarussy started to build the footing, started to get that combo on the board, and unfortunately broke immediately. And it's a bit unfortunate moment for Icarussy, right? Because Pezz is now starting to absolutely run away with it. And the combo right now from Pezz is looking pretty strong, but I have to go back a bit early on the map real quick, because Pezz, I've got a question for you. How did you perfectly curse announce one of the stacks? I saw that early in and I was just lost. But Pezz is now just pretty much chilling, right, with that 500 combo, dropping a bit of accuracy, sure, but they're still leading on the accuracy, and the combo game is there to be seen. Icarussy definitely has the opportunity to start building it back, right? We have half the map remaining still, but you just need to wait for that moment for Pezz to break. But the confidence being shown, even on the 280 BPMs bursts, just not even faltering at a moment's notice, just holding on cleanly as they cross that 700 combo mark. And Icarussy's starting to catch back up, right? Getting that burst speed in and getting the flow wave in, but it's that combo that's helping, sure, but you need Pezz to break for it to mean something.
Yeah, and as we are getting towards this last third of the map, Icarussy will be the first one to find the break, and unfortunately it seems like as Pezz is still holding, going towards that 900 combo on his side. It is just such a stellar performance. Of course, after his the first few months might have been just a little bit of a warm-up, getting into the flow state, as he is now just shredding this Grand Finals map pool right before our eyes. Still holding 400k now as we are getting towards the ending of this map, and is not going to be letting this combo or accuracy down. Now getting towards the 1000 combo mark, and is going to be trying to get even more, as we are still seeing there is still some amount of map left. Icarussy finds some more drops, but it does not matter because now it is pretty much the Pezz show as we are getting towards the ending, and he's still holding now 1200 combo, and it is not dropping down. He's still holding. What is going on?
Yo, Pezz, right? I feel like I've had to say your name so many times this match because you keep doing unreasonable things, right? 1300 combo on this, the control required, the accuracy as well. Unfortunate 100 right there, but you know, dropping to 97.7%, dropping a bit more at the end, 97.4%, with the second half full combo, 1400 combo exactly, I think that was. Genuinely a diabolical performance, right? You're seeing that red spike at the start where Pezz really started to struggle, but then they decided to dial in, focus up, and just went absolutely insane on that No More 3 to close out the match. That is GG's, and Pezz is going to be facing a secret box tomorrow in those grand finals, the winners grand finals, and it's going to be an interesting match. I have to say, congratulations to Icarussy for getting third place, a very insane performance. Only actually losing one match, and of course it was to Pezz, but the whole way through this tournament has been showing off an insane amount of skill and just a genuinely crazy player. You know, maybe not, you know, new to the scene, but definitely getting the name out there more and more recently. And genuinely just, and again, a crazy performance, but Pezz is going to be taking that rematch against the Secret Box in the grand finals.
Yeah, I am absolutely flabbergasted with this match, and especially the later half with the Pezz, the Golden Boy, is just showing what he was, as he is going to be the one after all to challenge Secret Box in the Grand Finals. And honestly, after the Winners Finals, I thought that there might be a little bit too much trouble for Pezz to hold on against Secret Box, but this match proved me completely wrong as he was able to do such an insane performance, and I'm not even completely sure if Secret Box will be able to match that. But I guess we would have to again, you and me would have to tune in tomorrow, I believe at 13:30 UTC, if you want to see what will be the result of that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, you got to be ready for that match tomorrow. Tomorrow's match will be an insane match. We saw them play against each other before. We saw an incredible performance. But I hope to see you all there. And that is us dialing out for today. The penultimate match, the ultimate match being tomorrow. It has been me, Torva Zero, as one of your casters, joined by Atomi. Thank you, Vexy, for being our streamer, and our lovely ref, Kibby. Thank you for reffing this match. See you all tomorrow, and goodbye from us.
Bye bye!